Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Oh, good day, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay, Big E is here. I think he ran off to take a whiz.
Yep, I got a whiz.
Perfect timing.
Yep. Only been sitting here for an hour and a half, but might as well wait till the show opened before going to take a whiz. That's the best plan.
How you doing, buddy?
I don't like him, his giant head, or his beady little eyes.
No one does.
I'm just fine, Mike.
Yeah.
Is this episode 747 cleared for takeoff?
It is. Very nice. I like that wordplay.
A little bit, yeah.
Nice. I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing all right, I suppose. A little early start for us today. We've got an interview that we're going to record a little later, so we wanted to bang this out early. We'll be talking to Adam Carolla. That'll air on, I guess, Monday's show. Mm-hmm. You know who I'm kind of disappointed we were supposed to talk to this week is Tom Green, too. And,
yeah, I'd still like to talk to him, even though it was sort
Yeah.
of in the build-up to his Sunday
appearance
at Ridley's.
Yeah.
But I'd still like to talk to him.
Yeah, the email correspondence I've had with his press guy is, I said that to him, was like, hey, dude, if you guys don't have time before Sunday or before, obviously today, our last show of the week, we'd still love to talk to him next week or something. And I haven't heard back from him yet, but if you're interested, if you like Tom Green, he's going to be at Ridley's. There are a few seats left on Sunday night, so...
that guy actually laid some important groundwork, I think, for a lot of shit that came after him.
Yeah.
There wasn't YouTube around then, and so he was doing shit on camera that, he wanted to blast out there and had this forum on his MTV show of just idiocy,
Yeah.
And that was before Jackass.
I believe so. What year was Jackass?
I want to say Green was like 98, 99.
I think his show on MTV was 2000 or 2001, but I think he was doing
Probably
it in Canada, before that.
Yeah, so he was doing stuff and not like Jackass-worthy stuff, not tipping himself over in a porta potty and all that, but I think that kind of primed the pump for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Being, on MTV and having him walk up to people with a piece of shit on a microphone and put it in their face.
Yeah.
Just kind of this man on the street that's way out there, wacky shit you'd never seen before.
It kind of has a Kids in the Hall almost feel to it. Like you
I'm
either
sure
get it.
He was inspired by them, no question.
Right, both being from Canada. But yeah, it would have been weird because I think that was like a public access show, which anybody can do. Anybody can go to public access and use that equipment and do something, plenty of people have done it, but he was able to cut through that. And at the time, there just wasn't anything like that on
there
TV.
wasn't.
And for this kid who was probably 20, 21 at the time, to do that stuff and fuck with his parents like he did.
That was
Remember?
awesome. That was the precursor to Bam doing that shit with Phil and his mom.
Yes,
Totally.
yes.
Remember that Richard and Mary Jane or whatever? And
Yeah.
he'd go in there at 2 a.m. and shove a microphone in their face.
Blow horns.
Yeah,
and
painting up their cars and stuff.
their house. Like, I wanted to ask him about that. Like, how much of that, like, they had to know. Like, okay, maybe the first couple times you get your parents with something like that, like, how much do they know? Because he's got him on camera, like, listen, Tom, we're really trusting you. We're going away for the weekend, and we don't want any shenanigans. And he's just, like, plays that perfect, like, absolutely. No, I totally understand. And they leave, and he's like, well, I figure, they've been so good to me. I want to do something nice for them. I'm gonna paint their house while they're gone. And
Painted it plaid.
paints the whole house plaid. And they come back, and his dad is fucking livid.
Yeah.
And is like, you're gone.
That seemed legit to me, his dad's response. He seemed like a really straight-laced dude who
Yeah.
legitimately was, like, trying not to lose it on camera. But,
Yeah.
man, was he pissed.
And I think about what my dad would have done. My dad would have killed me. I mean, I remember getting shit-faced when I was like 12 or 13 for the first time. My parents had like gallons of wine from their wedding, like
What?
in the basement, like those fucking,
delicious.
Yeah. And so me and a friend like got in there. They were going away. It was the first time they were going away and leaving like the kids in charge. And so I was probably 12 or 13. It was like, okay, you're in charge of Kristen and G, and
Should
they
have been the other way around.
probably, and it was like, wow, what an opportunity! Yeah, let's
Let's bust
see
into
what
the
this is
Ernest
like.
and Gallo.
Exactly. And so we drank, I don't know, never touched alcohol before, but drank a gallon of
Hold
wine.
on, wasn't this when Moop got hospitalized?
Yes.
Yeah, had
And
his first catheter, right?
Yes. And so, I ended
And
up.
Moop was your buddy down the street.
Yeah, he lived down the street, and we drank a beer or 2 beers and a gallon of wine. And we were up at the the local elementary school.
First timers,
Yeah, and Moop got so fucked up that he couldn't walk, and his house was like at the end of the sub, like blocks away. By the time we got to his house, I'm like carrying him, like, and I'm fucking wasted too. And so we get to his doorstep. I've probably told you this a million times, but we get to his doorstep, and I just start knocking on the door. We don't have keys or anything. I'm just like, I brought him home. And we're sitting there. His mom answers the door. She answers the door. I'm pissing on her fucking door when she answers it. I'm literally pissing on the front door.
Oof.
And so she opens her. She's like, "What the fuck?" And I let go of him. I'm like, "We're home." I let go of him, and he just passes out backwards into the bushes.
Yeah.
So imagine that scene where your 12 and 13-year-old kids, one's whizzing on the door, and her son is passed out in the bushes.
It's not good, Mike.
And so she's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And I'm like, I can barely walk at this point, so I'm just like staggering.
Doing that side run
Yeah,
where you're like,
that's-
whoa.
The sidewalk, fucking like, whoa, walk back to my house. She's like, "Get the fuck!" She was so mad.
And she totally knew you. Like you were
Oh,
a good buddy
yeah.
as.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
you were some random dude.
No. And so she just sent me home, like walking down the main street, wasted. And they called the ambulance for Moop, and he ended up in the hospital. They pumped his stomach, catheterized him, and then I ended up getting home, and I just start puking all over my floor in my
Sure.
room. And my sister,
wine.
oh, it was white
Oh,
wine
good.
actually, and I've covered my room floor in puke, and I'm wasted. And my dad probably thinking, this is our first weekend away. I'm gonna fucking get some, And so he's gone not 6 hours, and my sister calls him. She's probably 7 at the time.
Cock block. You were a cock block.
I didn't mean to be, and she's like, "Oh my God, something's wrong with Mike." I don't even know if she knew what drunk was at the time, and was like freaking out to the point that my dad had to put his pants back on and then race home. And I don't remember this, but apparently he grabbed me by the fucking hair and dragged me up the fucking stairs.
Wow.
Yeah, he was
and you had a
so
nice
mad.
mullet at that point. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
probably a nice
lot
little
to
handle.
Yeah, a lot to grab.
So he got home. Where were they? They just.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's never been talked about. He's probably loving the fact that I'm talking about this now.
You guys have just pushed that one down.
Yeah, that one's just like one of those. Just bury that one. That didn't happen. Yeah. But then there was rumor, that my parents ended up going to the hospital. The cops were called because you've got these kids, and so there was talk of like
Prosecution.
I'll take them for all their worth. Like they were going to sue my parents
Oh,
because
no.
they left kids at
The
home.
Moops and the Walters weren't like.
They weren't on the same page. Yeah, and whatever. But yeah.
You smoothed that one over somehow, right?
Somehow, but yeah, they were. I mean, they literally could have taken my family for everything they were worth, and so yeah, it was.
So your
it was
parents could
not a good
probably
day.
relate to Tom Green's parents and Bam Margera's parents. Like,
Yeah. So
you put them through some shit.
But if I had painted their house plaid, I'm sure my dad would have fucking dragged me out of that goddamn house by the hair, by the roots, by the roots. Yeah. So anyway, so
It looks like. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. What?
It looks like. You mentioned the community show. He started something in '94. Then by '96, it was on the Comedy Network. By '99 is when it was on MTV.
Okay.
And Jackass was on MTV at
Yeah.
2000. But again, they were probably had already been the rumors, or I don't know how much people saw back then. But
Yeah, they probably traded tapes, amongst them and
right,
stuff. And,
or kids would have whatever. So.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they had to water a lot of that down though for MTV. Like I think he
Yeah.
was able to get away with a lot more on the Canadian cable access than he was on MTV. There were just things you couldn't do on cable television, early ages of cable television back then. But yeah, so hopefully we can hook that up next week or something with Tom and sync up with him.
The dude's immortalized in Slim Shady.
I know, right?
He's got a whole line in that about
My bum is on your lips.
My bum is on your lips. Well, preceding that is something about Tom Green
Humping a dead moose.
Dead moose,
But
yeah.
you can't even. I forget what the words are. You're right. Now, what is? God damn it! I don't.
Yeah.
That'd be badass to be immortalized in a
Dude,
rap tune like that.
Hell
Holy
yes.
shit.
Hell yes. It'd be
Die
amazing.
a happy man.
What a life, too. And then goes on and does a bunch of movies, marries Drew Barrymore.
Here we are waxing poetic about Tom Green, a dude who hasn't even committed to come on the show.
I know,
My God.
know. But we did a little prep work in advance, so whatever. And Ridley's obviously our guy, so
Yeah.
if it helps sell a few tickets, if people are interested in his stand-up, again, you can go see him Sunday night. So anyway, a lot going on over here as we look forward to the weekend. You see poor Shia LaBeouf was arrested overnight.
You know, it's starting to be white noise to me, that guy.
Yeah, I agree. He's all these like stupid art projects
Yeah.
that he's involved in. Like,
Well, you can always fall back on that, right? It's just for the art.
it's the art, man.
No, you're a fucking moron, dude.
Like, and they're just dumb. Like, I'm gonna sit in a room with someone face to face and not say a word for
Yeah.
24 hours.
That was it, right? He sat at a picnic table or something, and they brought people in, just shepherded people in,
Yeah.
one after another. One would sit there for an hour, try to talk to him. I think one chick blew him.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, well, I don't want to confuse it because aren't there two things that he did? Like, there was the elevator one where he was riding the elevator for 24
Somebody
hours or
popped
something.
him in the head during that, didn't they?
Yes. You might be right though. He did get blown, and there was talk of like sexual assault or something because I think he had a girlfriend at the time, and he was like, he can't move for 24 hours.
So the chick grabs
So
his
it's like-
dick and pulls it out.
Starts blowing him.
Oh, the torture for the art.
It's for the art, man.
Yeah.
And so you're right. It is white noise because this is going on. Like, it's like, oh wow, Shia LaBeouf is doing some dumb shit again. But he was
When's
arrested.
the last time he did a movie, man? Transformers or something?
No.
Or he did the Indiana Jones.
No, he did the. He was in what's the one with Brad Pitt like a year or two ago that was really big about Germany, World War. Yeah, what was that one? It was huge, dude. I'm sure you saw it.
You're sure I saw it? Come on, Mike.
Well, I'm not sure you saw it. Fury. You
Shit,
didn't
dude,
see
I've
that? It
Never
was
heard of that.
Yeah, it's a big. It was a big movie. It was a good movie too.
Really?
Yeah, about this band of guys that was going after the Nazis. Stars Brad Pitt, but Shia. It was like, what? That dude's only done these weird fucking art projects since Transformers, and here he is in this giant blockbuster. But now he's back to doing these dumb art things. Anyway, I guess he's been. He got into an altercation with a guy outside a New York City museum who's been where he was chanting, "He will not divide us." This is his new art project. Ever since Trump's inauguration, he's set up this thing, 24-hour camera, and people can just go there and like chant, "He will not divide us." He's going to have a live stream going for 4 years. Yeah.
You're a pain in my ass!
So apparently there was a 25-year-old guy, and people are coming up to this thing and like trying to fuck with it, like
Yeah.
going up to the live stream camera. And Shia LaBeouf obviously isn't there 24 hours a day, but he's in there popping in and out and stuff. And so there's all kinds of people posting videos. The stream is live of like, like yelling shit that will antagonize people, and that's apparently what one guy did. There was this video that went viral the other day. E, do you have that there? Where he got all worked up and was screaming in this dude's face. Just for an example.
Divide us! He will not divide us! Must ensure the existence of the white people. He will not divide us!
It's like right in the dude's face.
He will not divide us!
What a weirdo this guy is.
He will not divide us!
He's like an inch from this guy's face.
Yeah.
He will not divide us! He will not divide us!
Now, in Shia LaBeouf's defense, in this instance, that guy, yelled 14 into the camera. 1488, obviously.
Uh,
Come on, Jay. E, you want to explain 1488 to Jay?
I mean, I could do it, but you're the host of the show, so I think I should probably
Gentlemen.
lean on you for this one.
Do you guys even read your white power pamphlets anymore? When was the last time you were at a good white power meeting? I mean, you guys are invited all the time. I haven't seen you at one in years.
What the hell is 14?
14, of course, is we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. 14,
You know what's
14 words.
This is so dumb. I should have known this. I'm going through The West Wing again recently, and that literally was in a episode 2 days ago. The minute you started saying it, I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, I did know that.
So it's a famous, like, Nazis will tattoo that on their knuckles, 1488.
Okay.
And you want to explain really quick the 88?
I can't. I'm sorry. I'll defer
Jesus,
to you in that as
dude.
well.
8 is the 8th letter of the alphabet is H. So 88 would be HH, Heil Hitler.
Okay.
And so this kid, if you listen closely, you could hear him yell like 1488 or something, which is when Shia got really in his face. So yeah, this whole uprising is a problem. But apparently that's not the incident that caused the problem. There was a guy that, I don't know what he yelled in the camera, but LaBeouf grabbed his scarf and apparently hit him with a fingernail or something and scratched his face. And so he was arrested overnight for that. So yeah, I don't know where that'll go or what he'll be in trouble for.
God's got his hand in this, and I truly believe that.
Yeah, I believe that too. Shia is clear that this is not anti-Trump, though.
Very clear, yeah.
Yeah, he said to the Associated Press, we're anti-division out here. Everyone's invited. I'm just saying, be nice to each other. So
Cool, man.
yeah, I'm sure it won't ruffle any more feathers. You know, the people
Guy's
just-
awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of Donald Trump, we mentioned yesterday how he was going to sign these executive orders about border control.
Yep.
And son of a bitch is doing it. He's cracking down, man, on illegal immigration.
We could just be watching the live. You could just watch the lives. This is
There
the
he is,
live?
huh?
I guess.
He will not divide us. He will
Oh, my God.
us. He will not divide
Where is this? DC, you said? Or?
It's in New York.
He will not divide us. He will
Dude, he's just
divide
standing there like
us.
2 feet from the camera, chanting. It's like he's...
Now, this is where you need to go in with a. God, I wish this would have been up 2 months ago. Like,
Yeah, run
what if I
over there
would-
with a TDC sign, you
just
son
stand
of a bitch.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
with
should send E there with a TDC sign. It's at the New York City Museum.
With a TDC sign, and then you can start chanting, what is it, 1488?
Yeah, 1488
You
TDC.
don't want to do that, obviously.
He will not divide
Hey,
us.
it's going for 4 years.
Yeah, you got plenty of time, E, to get over there. Plenty of time. It'd be nice to be there when Shia LaBeouf is there. I mean, if he
Yeah.
could scream
He's
in
there
E's
right
face
now.
like that or scratch
he'll-
E's face, that'd be
He'll
awesome.
lose interest after a couple more days.
You think so?
Nobody can stand there and do that for more than a couple days.
Maybe E could go over there and try to blow him again.
Huh.
You know what I mean? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Try that, E. You up for that?
I don't know about that part. Well, no, he can move. He can move. He can do whatever he wants in this one. It's not like what you guys were describing.
That's
is
right. Totally different art piece.
Right.
Yeah.
This is different art. That's a different
Well,
project.
if he does that statue one again, E, you're going to have to get down there and blow him. I'm sorry. Just to see what happens.
you up and said, fucking blow me, bitch.
So anyway, Trump, yeah, he signed off on 2 executive actions to restore law and order. We need law and order, Jay. One of the orders jumpstarts construction on the wall, bordering Mexico. The other defunds sanctuary cities like, obviously L.A., New York, Boston, Chicago, that harbor illegal immigrants. Beginning today, the United States of America gets back its borders. To help, he gave DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, authority to hire 5,000 Border Patrol officers and to triple its roster of ICE enforcement, the immigration enforcement agents.
Mike, where are we going to get the money to pay for all this? That's what all the talking heads are
Yeah.
trying to solve up there on CNN.
Well,
I was watching it yesterday. It was such a joke. They're like, this is going to cost $10 billion, and it's pretty clear that Mexico is not going to lay out $10 billion. He says that he's going to get the money back, but it's not clear how. Where
Yeah.
are we going to get $10 billion? It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You know how many billions of dollars we just drop away every day as this stupid government buys toilet paper for $50 a roll and shit? I don't know. Get a new toilet paper contract. There's $5 billion of it.
Yeah, right. And then he had didn't he have a hiring freeze too?
Yes, he froze
This
the
week?
hiring of federal workers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dude's trying to get his arms around certain budget issues, and people
Yeah.
are free. Well, they throw it back in his face. Well, most federal workers come out of the military. Just want you to know that, they come out of the military and they're looking for jobs, and that's where we get most of them. So if you don't like the military,
Yeah, that's
it's like, no, I just want to freeze this so I can understand what is needed instead of just relying on you agencies to just keep packing them full of workers.
which is what people have known forever. Is that
Government waste,
Dude,
really?
getting a government contract for something is hilarious. You can sign your own checks. Like, that's just the way it is, and everybody knows that, and so people take full advantage of that because they don't know what the hell you're doing, and they don't have time to figure out what you're doing. So it's just like, the guy says it's going to cost $20 million.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's not my money. Sign it. And so that's, I think, the point of the hiring freeze for Trump is like, okay, let's rein this in. Dealing with Boeing. And going, dude, it's outrageous that they're charging us $50 billion for a fucking new plane. Stop it.
Yeah.
And what happens? He has a meeting with the guy, and Boeing announces, all right, well, we're cutting the cost of this by whatever.
And everybody will go, oh, okay, so you cut the cost by $500 million. That's a drop in the ocean. Well, it's a start, and it sends the message that maybe there's a new way of doing business, running this thing like a business maybe.
Yes, looking at the bottom line, looking at where dollars are spent, and seeing where you can cut some of this bullshit out. So anyway, he said that by doing the hiring freeze, the temporary hiring freeze until he can get kind of his hands around it, that doesn't include these ICE workers and Homeland Security.
By the way, does that seem cheap, $10 billion for a wall? I thought this was going to be the most beautiful wall. I'm worried about how beautiful this wall is going to be if it's only $10 billion, Mike.
Yeah, is it going to be?
And it was supposed to have a beautiful door, too.
Yeah, a big gold door, like golden arches door.
How do you get a
where
beautiful
the good ones
door
can come back in?
for that price? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Seems sketchy to me.
Is he going to cut corners? Because I know there are going to be spots where you don't have wall. Spots, like empty spots.
Right. So you got like a little 4.5-foot chain link, and then it goes up to this beautiful wall.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, Mike. We'll have to see.
Yeah. He claims it's going to be good for Mexico, too. It's going to be great.
Well, his claim in that regard is you'll stop the transport of Central Americans through Mexico, just up, doing ill through the country, and then moving drugs into the U.S. from the South. That's his argument on that.
And running guns back to Mexico
Right.
from the U.S., which is the way it's been done. But he's like, I have deep admiration for the people of Mexico. Obviously, I love
Yeah,
taco
you do.
bowls. I love Taco Bell. But they have to stop it. We have to stop it. We're going to save lives on both sides of the border. Former Mexican President Vicente Fox, he can't wait. He tweeted yesterday, Sean Spicer, I've said this at Real Donald Trump, and I'll tell you now, Mexico is not going to pay for that fucking wall.
And what role does he play now? Fox?
Nothing. I
No,
mean, he just was the former president. That's like Bill Clinton tweeting out, we're not paying for your fucking wall. And then he hashtagged it, fucking wall. Oh, man. So anyway, Trump will also end the previous administration's catch and release policy. The directive places a priority on the prosecution and deportation of illegal immigrants who have otherwise violated our laws. And after these criminals spend time in prison for the crimes they've committed, they're going to get a one-way ticket back to the country of their origin, and their governments are going to take them back. We're going to get the bad ones out. The day is over where they can stay in our country and wreak havoc. We're going to get them out and get them out fast.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, he's been fighting with because a lot of those mayors were like, not us. We're not going to do that. San Francisco said that, and he was fighting with Chicago too, where he's
Rahm
like,
Emanuel.
yeah, where he's like, get your shit together with the violence in Chicago, or I'm sending the fucking feds in. And so Rahm Emanuel has already come out and said, we're not gonna abide by that. Your federal law, fuck you, and Bill De Blasio too. But the truth of the matter is the stats are unbelievable when
Yeah.
you look at what's going on in Chicago. Homicides in 2016, 754, which is up 57% from a year ago. Shooting victims in Chicago alone, 4,338.
Wow. Just wow.
Isn't that incredible?
It's astounding.
Yeah. It is astounding.
I heard Greg Gutfeld say, well, if Chicago still wants to be a sanctuary city, go ahead and build a wall around it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Pack 'em in.
It's not good, man. It's not. And I don't know what you do because they've got such strict gun laws there, and so I don't know how this is happening. You know what I mean? because it's illegal
Yeah,
to possess
I know.
the guns there.
They don't know that, or maybe we need a PSA.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Inform the people there that you can't possess these guns, guys.
Yeah. By the way, for context, those homicides in Chicago are more than Los Angeles and New York combined. That's incredible. Moving on, Brad Manning. You know
Right.
Brad.
Absolutely. He was recently received a commutation of his sentence from,
Quarter century commutation.
from President Obama.
Yeah. Well, Brad doesn't seem to be, I don't know, as grateful as you would think. He's kind of shitting on Obama.
Like I said, this is double-edged for Brad because he was about to get his noose turned into a vagine.
Yeah.
You know, turn that son of a bitch inside out, and now he's being broomed out of jail, and so the Army presumably isn't going to pay for that
Not
thing
picking
anymore.
up the tab on that.
Yeah.
Don't you think though, with his notoriety, he could get some, feel good, bleeding heart to
Probably.
get him a fresh, brand new, right out of the box vagine.
And blast all over the internet. I did the Brad Manning vagine.
Yeah.
Come to me, you next tranny.
Yeah.
It's great advertisement.
If you were Brad Manning, what would you go for? Would you go for the meat curtains, or would you go for just a nice, clean hatchet wound look? You know what I mean?
Yeah, go for something in between, maybe.
Would you?
Yeah.
Little puffiness, but not out of control.
Yeah.
You don't want to rub it in people's faces. Yeah. What do they do with the old noose, by the way? Do they donate that to
The old
poor
noose,
kid?
I think it's turned inside out.
Oh,
I think
it's
that's how they do the surgery.
the sleeve.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. So there's no extra. Well, anyway, he said he published a column somehow. Isn't Brad still in jail? Brad's still in jail till May.
I don't know, is he?
Yeah. So he published a column talking about this and said that he said the Obama was a weak leader with few permanent accomplishments.
Oof.
Kind of agree there, but calling on liberals to strike a more militant posture as Trump takes power. The one simple lesson to draw from Obama's legacy: do not start with a compromise. They won't meet you in the middle. Instead, what we need is an unapologetic, progressive leader.
It's pretty ungrateful,
Yeah.
Brad.
Brad, he just took you out of jail. Saved over 25 years sitting in a fucking hole.
Can commutations be reversed?
That's a good question. How funny would that be?
Obama's got to be steamed about this one.
He also criticized Obama's attitude towards his community, the LGBT community, in the aftermath of the
Elemento.
PQRS. After the gay nightclub attack in Orlando, in the aftermath of the deadly shooting at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando that took the lives of nearly 50 queer and brown people, it took Obama over 300 words of his speech to acknowledge the queer community, and even then as an abstract acronym. He predicts the next 4 years will be darker times for their community and minorities, and called for those groups to rally around a strong and progressive person to lead us all.
Did you see Trump's tweet about this? By the way, he's still tweeting from @RealDonaldTrump. Doesn't he get a @POTUS?
Yeah, he does have it. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the way it's supposed to go. Is that
This one came from @Real, so maybe he's gonna I don't know, distinguish between how he communicates on each one. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
This one, ungrateful traitor Chelsea Manning, who should have never been released from prison, is now calling President Obama a weak leader. Terrible. Terrible.
That's hilarious. Oh man, yeah. I don't think there's anything you can do once a president pardons you, or I don't think you can reverse it.
Yeah, I mean the president's gone. He's not in. The president who issued the thing is gone, so he doesn't have the power to reverse it. I wouldn't think, right?
Yeah.
Come back, and the new guy can't do it. So.
If anyone does, I do, and I will. Brad's going back to jail as Brad.
Had he been a little bit more grateful, it would have been different.
By the way, there's rumor, and I don't know how much truth there is to this, but I hope this is true. I just hope and pray this is true, that Hillary Clinton is considering another run for president.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be?
That would be a lot of fun.
Thinking.
And is mulling the idea of launching a TV talk show to soften ground for 2020.
Yes, do it. Yes.
I am so in favor of this move. She would be 73 years old if she were to challenge Trump and run against.
You're not a helper.
God, it's just piercing.
It is.
Launching a TV program now would make her America's second oldest female news or talk show host. After, does anyone know who the oldest female talk show host is in America? And it's kind of a trick question because it's not your traditional.
Oh, it's like a news show instead.
Why? It's not like Carol Costello or someone on CNN. Yeah.
Well, it's not like a sit-down kind of Oprah show.
No.
It's like 60 Minutes
It's
or
a
something?
news
or-
magazine type thing. Yeah, like a
Nope.
60 Minute or 2020.
Watered down version.
What do we got?
The View. Joy Behar.
Oh, God.
I know. I told you it was
Gross.
kind of a trick question. I know.
Gross.
Joy Behar, yeah.
Was she the one who said Trump would never be president and laughing at one of the celebrities I saw
Oh,
on that?
probably,
They
yeah.
showed that. It was an awesome clip I saw on Facebook of like about 3 minutes of these celebrities just absolutely laughing
Well,
at
they
the
had
idea
Kellyanne
that it would
Conway.
happen.
They had Kellyanne Conway on there like 2 weeks before the election, and
Yeah.
they were all just like,
Oh, yeah.
"You're an idiot." Kellyanne's like, "Well, we'll see."
Yeah, sorry. We'll see. See how this plays out. Yeah, they love doing that, getting one person on there and then just ganging up on them.
They're smuggery, and they're passive aggressive.
As if.
Little chuckle at the end of everything. Oh, well,
in this country, we're so beyond that. Right, Whoopi?
I would hope so.
Wasn't what's her name on there too? Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth
Hasselbeck.
Filarski, then Hasselbeck. Yeah, she was on there and she dumped out and was on Fox News a while, but she's out of there too. I don't know what she's doing.
Is she? She being a stay-at-home mom now? Maybe.
She married the lesser of the Hasselbecks, so maybe she still needs to work. I don't know.
Matt is the more well-known Hasselbeck. Is it Matt and?
No idea. She married the one, the early balding one.
Wow, they're both early balders.
Are they?
Yeah. Matt is the one that had the famous we'll take the ball and we're gonna go and win.
He was the Seahawks guy.
Yes, the coin toss. Remember at Lambeau Field? Do you remember that? It went to overtime. The game went to overtime, and so
you
they
can hear
flipped
the
coin.
official's mic, and he's like, "We'll take the ball, and
We'll
we're
take
gonna go."
we'll take the ball and we're gonna go and score and win. It was a playoff game, and then he threw a pick six 2 plays later.
Sweet.
You know what's funny, Mike? She left Fox and Friends. In November, she announced she'd be leaving Fox and Friends to spend more time with her family.
There you
And
go.
said she wanted to give them the best of me, not the rest of me.
Well, what the hell is her husband doing? Because I haven't seen him around at all. He
Which
used
one
to
was
be
he
on some.
again?
Dude,
Matt. I know you guys were
look
just
up
talking-
Hasselbeck.
Yeah, there's Matt and his brother Tim
Tim, there you go.
Hasselbeck. Yeah, Matt is still doing Matt or Tim. Fuck, I can't remember which one of them is doing like countdown now. It might be Tim, might be Matt. It's Matt. I don't know. I don't know what Tim's doing though, but he played a little bit in the NFL, didn't
It's
he?
a good Hasselbeck reset. I don't think Tim ever did anything of relevance. He might have been like a third stringer for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Both came out of
Not
Boston
a bad
College,
gig though.
He played for several. Tim played for several teams, but they're all. I mean,
Well, played is a strong word.
well, he was on,
Signed on a
He was
roster,
signed onto several teams: Buffalo, Baltimore, a European team, the Eagles, Panthers,
Barcelona
Skins,
Dragons.
Yeah.
Berlin Thunder.
So those guys both preceded Matt Ryan at Boston College, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, it probably went Hasselbeck.
Who preceded
Ryan
Doug Flutie?
Well, many years preceded.
He must be doing something now, but on Wikipedia it doesn't really say. It just says that he had an announcing career. It looked like and sports analyst, but it doesn't say.
To say he went bald way too early. So that's what I remember
Yeah,
about the guy.
it should.
It's
if
like
it
a
doesn't.
college senior with
this?
male pattern baldness. That sucks.
Get him there. Yeah, you got to wear your helmet all day. You can't be at practice with your helmet off. You look ridiculous. No offense, but look at that. So anyway, going back to Hillary Clinton, she thinks that being the host of a popular TV show would energize the Democratic Party
Make her look human, possibly.
and her tens of millions of fans. It's a way to make a comeback and position herself for another run at the White House starting in a year or so. Recently, apparently, she told a group of friends gathered at her home, "I'll be back," and delivered it like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
Isn't that just completely out of touch? Because I'm not really plugged in with the left, but my assumption was it was a resounding like, "See ya, bitch! You lost this for us. You were an awful candidate, and you're not progressive enough."
Yeah. And the fact is, like, the idea of Hillary Clinton doing a talk show is comical on so many. Look, the fact is, the majority of Hillary's problem is she doesn't come off as human. She doesn't have a good personality. She's smart. She can get up there and deliver what someone writes for her, but she
Mike,
down't have that kind of
You
personality.
give her
that-
credit. She's working on her weakness. You know,
You think so?
You go to your left. If your left is weak, you dribble left, left, man. You do it 100 times, 1,000 times, over and over until it feels natural.
Yeah, I think it would.
I
be
just don't
fodder.
know that a TV producer is going to give a TV station, whatever channel, is going to give her the chance to master that because she is so bad.
I think
So
someone
unlikable.
Would. Someone would just to
for
be
the-
able, the headlines alone that Hillary Clinton is doing a show. Honestly, I think this is bullshit. I can't imagine the scenario where she could pull off a winning campaign in today's America. I just don't. And a TV show is, like I said, comical.
Well, and she's so damn greedy. They're not going to hang in there paying her, the $30 million a year that she's going to require to do this. So,
right.
Because her ratings are going to tank after the first month, after everybody gets a look at it and laughs at it.
Can you imagine her doing what is she gonna do the cooking segments and stuff? Like, can you imagine? Now what are
Oh my
we
gosh.
putting into these?
This is delicious.
Oh my God, what is in this food? No, I think they said the rumor is that it would focus on democratic issues, progressive issues, and she would have a host of guests on and discuss progressive issues with them. And I'm just like, you do that.
See, there you go. She's hitting both her weaknesses right there. She's trying to improve.
Well, she's been on gay rights for almost 3 years now. I mean, like
True.
she is a
last 3
true
years.
champion of the cause. You know what I mean?
Good
Like,
point.
So, I mean, don't act like she's new to the party. I mean, it's been almost 3 years now that she's been in favor of
And
that.
that super predator thing,
Yeah, whatever.
She's
Yeah,
well
the blacks will
beyond
get
that.
over that.
She's well beyond
cool
it.
with that. Yeah. I mean, that was in the 90s. So she's fine.
Hey, Mike, as you've heard, Zott Ford has some sick deals on their pre-owned lot. Plus, they don't just stock used Fords. Get a 12 Honda Civic LX at only $89.95 or a shiny 11 Chevy Equinox LS for just $89.95 or a fat 15 Chevy Impala LS for only $11,995. It's almost 15% below Kelly Blue Book. Finally, the daddy of the Mac, a 15 Ford F-250 Super Duty Diesel Crew Cab 4x4 for $38,995. This beast is over 10% behind Kelly Blue Book. Hurry, because each used car, truck, and SUV is one of a kind, and when they're gone, period.
Hey, man, sad day. Did you hear we lost Mary Tyler Moore yesterday?
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
I know she was huge in television back in the 70s, and that's, iconic, I guess. I don't know anything about her, though.
Shit.
I got to be honest with you, Mike. This is going to be a
Dude,
short segment,
I
isn't
was
it?
totally leaning on you. I thought you were going to come strong with
No,
some
no.
good knowledge on Mary Tyler
Supposedly
Moore.
a big feminist thing where she was, one of these first shows where she was the working woman out there doing her thing, throwing up her hat at the end.
Single woman,
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I got, man.
wow.
I hope
See,
that suffices.
Yeah, I had that too, though.
Perky
so now,
little boobies, apparently.
oh, you're not supposed to say that to a feminist. They don't want to talk about how nice their titties look ever. So like she would consider that rude if you were like, oh, nice tits.
Well, she's dead.
Nice photo right here.
Yeah, again, see, she's got nice tits there too, but I don't think you're supposed to say that
You can't.
about
She's
her.
dead.
Yeah.
Is that on TV? This image, I wonder. It looks like it's from the show. That just looks pretty
Probably.
racy for the
You're
that
right,
show.
E. That is racy.
Yeah, for the 70s.
Look at those curtains, man.
Yeah, looking good. So yeah, she died yesterday at 80, surrounded by family members, which is good. I'll dump everything I know about Mary Tyler Moore. I was not a huge fan. Wasn't the Mary Tyler Moore Show song really, really popular? Doesn't that go down? Pull up the Mary Tyler Moore theme song.
Yeah,
I thought
I
that
think
was
that's
like
thought of as iconic and classic, but I can't think of what the hell it is. Again, I've never seen it. I can just like pipicture her throwing her hat or something.
Oh shit! That other thing. Well, that Shia LaBeouf thing
Still
is
going?
Sorry, that's my bad.
Shia's still chanting in
He's
New
still-
York.
He's still that's my.
Yes, make it on your own.
yeah, 70s music.
This world is awfully big.
It's a good song.
Girl, this time you're all alone, but it's time you started living.
I remember the song, but I
Barely.
never watched the show.
Here we go. Hold on.
Yeah.
Go, Mary Tyler. Is Harvey Korman on that as well? Am I imagining that?
On that show, maybe. Who's Harvey Korman?
You'd know him if you saw him.
Would I?
Yeah.
She was on Dick Van Dyke's show before that.
Was it a
wasn't
spin-off from that? We're just talking out of turn here. We
oh
have
yeah,
no idea.
we have no idea. We'd be better off just like
letting
like
this go,
being
done
rude
with
and
this.
talking about pictures of their tits showing again. Like seriously. What Ed Harris was, or not Ed Harris, but Ed? Who's the old man? Wasn't he in that?
Oh, the judge from Caddyshack.
No, not that one. Yeah, we 70s TV is really not in our wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if this was Alf or something, we could roll.
If it's late 70s, I mean, if we're getting into BJ and the Bear, you know,
You can hold the fort down with BJ and the Bear, but you're kind of on an island there. You know, I'm not a tremendous amount of help. So Dick Van Dyke, he tweeted out.
he's still alive.
Yeah, I know. I
Somebody
was
working his
shocked, too.
account?
Maybe.
Post-mortem.
Yeah.
Posthumously.
Maybe, which is funny. They said that I was reading, I don't know, a couple months ago about how there are so many dead accounts now on Facebook, like people that have, oh yeah, I'm on Facebook, and then they die.
Yeah.
That within like the next decade, there will be more dead people on Facebook than alive.
Wow.
So bizarre, dude.
Well,
like
that just
now
shows
that
how
you
many
have
old people are on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
It's an old person's
and
media.
young people. I mean, if a kid dies, I have friends that have younger.
Yeah, but I'm just speaking statistically.
Okay, but
Yeah.
still, it's funny that
It might be like 2050 or something by the time the flip happens, and I don't remember the details.
Wow.
But
But
isn't
when
that
you have
crazy when you
that-
think about how many people are on there?
because you can't. There's like you can only get it removed once they're dead. It's like kind of a process. I
Yeah. You have
remember
to get
hearing.
like a court order or something.
Yeah, because you need that person to like
Yeah.
get rid of it. So I don't know what the process is, but it's not like just your dad goes in and I lost
Well,
my
I'm sure
son.
they have one now because I'm sure they want that shit off their
Right, that's a good point.
programs. You know, they don't want to weigh it down with.
If not, they'll be
dead
working
shit.
on it for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what you do.
Well,
Yeah.
that's for Zuckerberg to figure out.
Yeah, that's
We'll
his,
leave it
that's
to the
his
big guy.
problem. Yeah,
Fuck the book, by the way.
I don't know. The book is all right. It's okay.
I just hadn't said that in a long time. So.
Yeah. Did you miss it at all? Did you wish you were back
No.
on there? No. People still reference you on there, but
Hi, everybody on the book.
yeah, they reference you as JF the book, Detroit Cast. But anyway, I didn't know that she had a long battle with diabetes.
Diabetes, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Type 1, diagnosed when she was like 33 years old.
I was
That
unaware.
Yep. So she was diagnosed in '66, the same year of the last season that she was on the Dick Van Dyke Show, and then obviously she went on to play Mary Richards in the Mary Tyler Moore Show. That series, by the way, ran 7 years, won 29 Emmys. That streak that was a record for Emmy wins that was beat out by. Does anyone care to venture a guess as to what show beat out the Mary Tyler Moore Show?
Seinfeld, maybe?
No.
Seinfeld won that many, did it? Maybe it did. I don't know.
The Simpsons.
No.
No.
It stood for a quarter century, so 25 years later. I guess that's showing off the year in '77. So 25 years later, this show eclipsed the 29
Frasier?
Emmy. Very good, E.
No
I knew
shit.
Frasier won a lot. I
Wow.
just didn't know how much.
Would you have
I would
picked
have
up?
never guessed that.
Yeah. Where were you going to go next? A-Team?
Yeah, no, I was going to go, more toward the drama, the hour-long drama, and start throwing out Hill Street Blues or some shit. I
Murder,
don't
She
know.
Wrote,
Right.
Law and Order, maybe.
Angela Lansbury.
But I didn't know this about Mary Tyler Moore. This is a learning day for us, Jay. She had one child, Richard Jr., who's no longer with us, by the way. He died of an accidental gunshot to the head.
Dick Moore?
Yes.
Well, like in an alphabetical situation,
Yeah.
where your last name is listed first.
more Dick?
Must have been tough.
I knew
He probably went by his dad's last name instead of mom's.
I
And
know-
you can't blame him for that, because more comma Dick would just be...
more Dick.
Well, that would be his dad's name, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. So
We don't know
by
for
his
sure.
mother's.
We know nothing about
All
the
they say
subject
is
matter.
Richard Jr. They don't say
This
Dick
is,
Moore.
this is clearly just speculation
Yeah.
and conjecture on our part.
Well, what's not speculation and conjecture is the fact that he shot himself in the head with a sawed-off shotgun on
Hold
accident.
on accident.
Yeah. I don't know how you
Cleaning it.
do that. Well, I'm looking down the barrel. What is that? Why is that thing? I can't even see anything.
Is that
in there.
loaded? Shit, is it?
Yeah, and then she married Bob Levine, who survives her in '83. So,
Mary Tyler Moore Levine.
Mary Tyler Moore Levine, yes. So yeah,
I knew a kid that. in
she
Craft-
also. I found this interesting. Sorry, you didn't mean
That's
to
all
cut
right.
you off there. She also tried to murder or kill her brother, who's 47. She tried to assist in his murder.
Huh?
Like
Yes.
assisted as far as like he was not
Like a
doing well.
Kevorkian situation, or
Yeah, sort of.
She wasn't good. She didn't like try.
Don't
for-
start talking about the euthanasia. I don't want to hear about them. I know they're smarter than our youth. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to
And how
talk
can
about
we expect anything other when my kid has been to school like 12 days in the last 4 weeks?
right. And the euthanasia are, I guarantee, have gone to school way more than that. They haven't
Every
missed
day,
a
I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess in her autobiography, she admitted that she had, he was terminally ill, brother. And she tried to help him commit suicide by feeding him ice cream laced with a deadly overdose of drugs. He was 47. He died 3 months later of kidney cancer, but yeah. Isn't that weird? It's a weird fact.
I don't remember that being an issue. Like you thought that would have come out in the news and been
A thing?
Yeah.
I mean, Kevorkian went to jail for that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore, you know, that famous actress. She tried to kill her brother.
With
Never
ice
heard
cream
that.
and drugs, yeah. I know.
Goddamn slanted media.
And she couldn't pull it off either, which is disappointing too. You would think, like, if someone gave me the directive, like, dude, you got to help kill me, like,
Yeah.
you better believe if I have to my pillow your face to death, I will.
Yeah.
I'll get the job done. I'm not just going to give you a bowl of ice cream.
Hope it
with some-
works.
Well, you'd
laced
think
with some
you'd
shit.
start going through the Rolodex of your mind and going, all right, who do I know that's died recently? My son, Dick Moore.
Yeah.
How'd he do it? Yeah, he stared down the barrel of a shotgun. That worked.
Yeah, but dude, I don't know that I'd
pretty
want
messy.
to go into the hospital with a sawed-off shotgun and blow his face out. Like that would be hard for me to do, and I don't even know the guy.
It's pretty messy.
You know,
I'll
I
give you
mean,
that.
if given the choice, I'd much rather give him like a bowl of ice cream and let him eat himself.
But like you said, you're going
Laced
with a
with
bowl of
shit.
ice cream. That's like the dog situation that we talked about with me and the pills. You're just kind of putting this in the ice cream and like, I hope this is enough.
You're putting it in there. Now, did you put it in there for the dog last
dang it.
nighty? Let's follow up with this. Did you do your job?
I placed it last night and this morning into his food.
And he ate it?
And he ate it.
Good.
You realize we can't trust a word he says until he's shit faced.
Yeah.
So next time he gets wasted,
Well, let's get him
we'll
on
have to-
record. We'll get him on
I'm
record.
on record
Okay.
as saying that I placed
We'll
those
get his
medicines.
sworn testimony at this point, and then, you know, to the extent it's changed later, well, we'll go to his credibility and just
Yeah.
further knock him down. Now, E, tell us, how did the whole thing end? Were you happy with the situation? You locked the door behind you and go, all right, that was a
Yeah.
good deal.
Yeah, it worked out. You know, I guess I complained a little too much yesterday. Although having
You
said
called
that,
the dog a dick.
the dog is not a dick, but again, he just needs to be like he needs constant wanting to play. That's all it is, and maybe that's not his fault. I mean, maybe just young. I don't know the situation, but once again last night, I literally from when I got there. Now I ended up going out to eat with a listener, which was nice. Some listener offered to give me dinner. Dan, I will say his name, I guess. Whatever. But when I was
It's
leaving,
hilarious. Listeners just like direct message E on Facebook, like, "Hey,
I had two people offering me
noticed,
dinner.
I noticed you're in my area. I'll buy you a beer." And he's like, "Hell yeah, where are we going?"
Why not?
I had two people actually. I had another person text me yesterday, and I said, "Oh man, someone already got to me, dude. Can't help you." But when I left, I felt like maybe I'm getting paid to do this. Maybe I should be staying with the dog and just eat food at home. But I was like, dude. From whenever I got there at 5 or whenever I got home till when I left for dinner, and then when I got back from dinner until I went to bed, I mean, if you're not throwing this ball, you know what I did last night? I did different. Is I said,
got his dick in one hand and
Yeah,
he's just
jacking off.
throwing his ball.
I
in the other.
couldn't even do it. I never was able to jack off in the house because I couldn't have even done it. I was so worn out by this dog. What I ended up doing to try to like
I feel like Bill didn't get his money's worth then, right? So you hire E, you're expecting
you
certain
the
things.
masturbation session in your house.
Dang, that kind
Well,
of sucks.
well,
Yeah,
Go
that's
back there some
brutal.
other day and lay one down.
sure, whatever. If he
Did you at
wants, I
least
can
shit
go.
in the toilet and not flush it?
No.
Nothing. Jesus, E, what's the matter with you?
Yep, I shit in every one of his toilets and never flushed one of them.
Really shortchanged this guy.
No, but when
I put 3 turds in that one upstairs. 3 separate times I went in there.
what
Never
I
flushed it.
What I did do, though, in my attempt to get this dog, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wear this motherfucker out so I could sit down for 10 minutes. Is I went up to the stairs and I started chucking the ball down like it's where you could chuck it like kind of over the staircase down into the living
Make him
room.
go down and up,
Make
down
him
and up,
fucking
down.
come
Yeah.
down, and he would go near like after like 10, 20 minutes of that, he would start doing just a half, and I'd have to walk into the room to make him. Oh, geez, now I got it. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna tire you out, motherfucker. And he did lay down for like 15 minutes after that.
Good work, E.
And then was
Charged my
right back
battery
at
really
it.
quick.
But
Yeah, I just had to charge my battery, and then we were playing ball again.
So in the end, what was the problem? E, did you guys just not connect on on a friendly
He
level?
just wanted
I mean,
to play. Wait, dude, he literally like when I woke up this morning. I woke up at 6 this morning, wanting to leave by 8 because in my mind, when I house sit a dog again, it's like this whole thing of why I wouldn't want a dog. You have to get up, get them their food. You got to try to get them outside to go to the bathroom, knowing that you're not going to be there. So like, I feel like you have to wake up extra early.
Yeah, fuck that.
I know, but that's what I did, and I'm telling you, from 6 in the morning till I left at 8, this dog. Dude, even as I made my breakfast and got ready to get my stuff in the car, I'm just throwing the ball, and I put him. Fucking Christ! I placed him in the room that he'll wait for the listener,
Bill.
and like he was just freaking. You could tell he didn't want to be there because he wanted to play. And it's like, dude, that was 2 hours.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, I did not even. I mean,
Did
I
he
was
scream at you last night? Was he just like, "Hey, I'm over here.
I
I'm over
closed
here"?
the door, dude. Last night,
Was
I
he
went into the
barking,
room and he did still. It
You
wasn't
were
as
really
bad.
tired though. He was going on fumes the last couple
Yeah,
days.
yeah. Would you declare in the end that the dog was a dick? The
No.
last dog you house sat for, you said was an asshole.
One of the two was an asshole.
One of the two was
One
an
of the two
asshole.
was kind of
Was this one a dick?
No,
Because it sounds kind of dickish. Honestly, it does.
You know what? It's just like, and again, maybe with the owner, maybe with the guy, he's used to, so maybe he has more of an ability to tell him just no, or I don't know what he does. I don't know what his, but to me, if you're watching him, like there was no possible way if I was in the house not to be playing with him, because if you stopped playing with him, he would just start barking at you.
Yeah,
And so
that's
like,
tough.
I don't really care, but it was definitely nonstop. Like I had to play with this dog nonstop.
Eric, do you need a hug?
No, it's the last thing. Whatever, though.
dude.
You know what? It worked out
Yeah.
good, and in the end, I made a little money, and I'll still do it for other people, but
Yeah,
I'll just be a little more.
The business is still going. You're just going to be a little more discerning
Little
in
more,
who you
yeah,
take on. Yeah.
right.
Okay. Well, these people who do this, what is the requirement? Is their dog is not a dick? They have to.
Or an asshole. I don't think you like the asshole dog either.
I guess the problem is I don't know how to define that. Like
You
if
just
this
know a
dog-
dick when you
right,
see
if
one.
this dog just would have been like, I could not sit down for more than a few minutes without him at me.
We sort of defined it yesterday in
Right.
draft form.
Yeah.
We want an older dog,
Older dog.
that's chill, but not so old that it's taking meds.
right, and I don't even
Or that
do,
it could die on your watch.
It's a narrow
Like,
window.
that's-
Yeah,
I
it's
like
a big
playing with
carcass.
dogs,
We
by
don't
the
want
way.
a carcass that he has to
right.
remove.
Well, I'm not removing a car. Then I'll just be leaving, and you'll deal with that when you get home. But
It'll release its bowels.
well,
Yeah, and stinks.
oh well. But I don't even mind playing with dogs. That's the funny thing. Like
Get
I
bloated.
like
You ever
throwing
see
the
a
ball.
bloated raccoon on the side of the road?
Oh, yeah, it's gross.
You're gonna make the owner come home to that? They're paying you. E.
Well, I'll leave the money on the table, and I'll
Line
say,
supine, just that big bloated belly and the arms, all four arms just sticking out.
Your whole house stinks.
well, you know what I'll do if you know what I would do if a dog were to die on my
Crank
watch.
the heat and leave.
No. I'll be messaging that owner and
Stuff
saying,
it in the freezer.
Hey, FYI, your dog died. I am going to just leave this. Now, if you want to pay me extra money and have that money come through my Venmo account,
Then Jay will come
then-
over and help.
Then I'll.
Mike mentioned the freezer. That might be a good move, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
This
the
dog
owner
would not
might
have
want
fed
to
in the
preserve
freezer.
it. They may want to get it stuffed. We don't
Most
know.
dogs-
Well, the problem is, with a dog that big, you'd probably, at a bare minimum, have to snap its legs and fold them over.
Not those big bench freezers or whatever you call them.
Well, not
Who has-
everybody's got one of those
who-
big bench freezers, and I don't think it's a great. I haven't thought much about this, but I don't think the owner would appreciate if you had to like cut off its limbs and head just to like stuff it into a freezer. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't appreciate that.
I mean, you are salvaging the main meat
Yeah.
for them.
For the stuff, and yeah,
As long as you're severing the head such that it can be mounted appropriately.
yeah.
I don't know that it's that big a deal.
I guess in the end, everything would come
Yeah.
down to money. Like I said, I would be messaging somebody, and I'd be like, "Look, I will take care of this, but I want some money in my account,
Yeah.
like wired now. I'm not like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll do it afterwards. I want to see the extra 100 in my account.
Wire me another 100.
Ever heard of Western Union, Bill?
Yeah, so you
Unmarked
haven't.
bills.
What you're saying is you haven't established that level of trust yet with any of these people that are having you dog sit. So you don't trust them. Like, dude, I got you as soon as I get back. Like, that's not good enough. You need them to wire overnight
I want-
Western Union.
I'm not.
something.
I'm not moving some dead carcass out of a house for no money and like, oh, an IOU or
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
not helping him move said carcass without
Yeah.
money wired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good point.
Just know
Fair
that.
enough.
Dude, did you see? We talked about this, I don't know, a few days ago, that J20, those riots, essentially.
Yeah.
Around the inauguration, we had that video of the kid who was asked about lighting the fire at the scene. Proudly announced,
proudly.
I'm Connor. I lit the fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, man. This little kid, this little white kid, little punk, started this fire in the middle of these riots. Well, there's a report that's Drew Carey's son.
What?
Drew Carey, the comedian / Price is Right host.
Yeah.
That's his son, apparently.
Really? Can you see it in there? Does he have the glasses?
They have... Carey is not in the video, but somebody in the know has matched this kid up to Carey's Instagram account.
Really?
It says, yeah, this is the same kid, man. And apparently Carey was at the inauguration to do some presentation at some ball or whatever.
Not for Trump.
I think he was, honestly.
What? And his kid, dude.
And his kid just like went outside and started rioting or something.
That doesn't make sense. You would think if
Drew Carey participated in the inauguration a very different way from his son. The 58-year-old emceed the Veterans Inaugural Ball, Salute to Heroes, hosted by the American Legion.
Wow.
Price is Right host did not seem to be aware of his son's participation in the protest that night. TMZ caught up with him, and he told the gossip site he was just having dinner with my kid down the street and wanted to see the protest. So is it possible he went to dinner, he's still hanging out in the restaurant at the bar or something, and this kid runs
Slips
outside
out the back
to take
door?
part?
Wow, that'd be a crazy story if
The
that
kid
was
was
true.
very confident, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he just stepped up. Yeah, I'm Connor.
Declared.
Like, corrected the guy when he said his name wrong and shit.
Yeah. That was one of those
odd.
when you see those those reporters in the field, like in a mass gathering like that, like they don't have anything loaded. They're just kind of like like live,
Yeah,
and then
looking for comment.
Yeah, anybody. Wow, what do you think of this? And it's like stick a camera in any asshole's face, and occasionally you get someone that tells you to fuck off, but mostly, and so that's kind of what he was doing, if I remember correctly. With this, it was just like, well, what's going on over here?
Yeah, the kid steps up. I started the fire.
Yeah, I'm Connor, and that's my fire right there. I did a good fire right there.
Drew Carey's kid. That's funny. I hope that's true. Would you?
No.
Why?
Because she bangs 15-year-olds.
Well, take that out. E, would you?
Based. I have to. What's her name?
He's not into Asians.
Tao Dune.
That is true. I don't tend to find Asian.
Yeah, he
overly
hates
attractive.
Asians. THAODOAN. There's a twist on this toy. She was banging a student, and apparently he blackmailed her.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this kid took it to the next level.
Yes.
And for the new listener, Toik is Teacher of the Year candidate. Mm-hmm. For a long time, we could still do this. Pull one out every 2 days if we wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
These female teachers
Yep.
Who are banging their students.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this at length in the past, what the psychological miscue is behind this, or why the fuck this is happening. Mm-hmm. But here's a new one, and this is a new twist. So we're now reporting on new twist Toiks.
And, speaking of that, one of the ones that we talked about early on was just in court yesterday again. Remember the one, the tall blonde?
Looked like the Russian spy.
Yes, from Utah, I think, that had the
She
glasses.
thinks she's way hotter than she is.
I know. When you see her, like, sobbing photo or, mugshot, she doesn't look nearly as hot. But when she's done up, it was like, dude. Like, we as kids, as 14, 15-year-olds, totally would have nailed her.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But this one, she starts banging a middle school kid. And the mom has spoken out now about this a little bit. But so she was taken into custody after the student's mother approached the school with screenshots of messages between her son and the teacher and begging them to stop her from continuing to give him money, which is bullshit, dude. I've had a parent narc me out. When I was stealing the Brock's candy in the grocery store back in the day. That sucks, dude. I mean, here you got this thing going. You're banging your teacher. She's paying you for it. And your mom figures it out and narcs you out, ruins that
Got
racket.
a damn good thing going. Think
Wow.
about that. At 14, right? He's pulling in 28 G's
Yeah.
from his teacher, and he's pulling puss.
Dude, and got to give the kid credit. I know blackmail is not to be encouraged.
It's not ideal.
Obviously. But
He's got a
kid
business
recognized
mind. This kid's got a future.
He at a bare minimum recognized he held all the cards.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the key to this is when you're a teacher and you send one gorgeous titty shot or vagine shot to a student,
And
he holds all the cards.
Comes from your account and/or shows your face in any way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
done.
And if he's got the, I banged her in the park story to lead with, and then she goes, oh, that's a lie. And he goes, oh, yeah? Tits, vagine. And then he's got the pictures to back it up.
Yeah.
Oh, he holds all the cards. All moves are his. Ball is not in your court anymore. Toadune. So she taught him apparently in 8th grade math last year.
This is unbelievable to me. I am around middle schoolers all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I have a kid in 8th grade. I've got
And
a
you
kid in
wouldn't
10th
touch
grade.
him. Like on
I
any.
can't believe, like, these kids are so young.
Yeah.
I can't believe this goes on.
Well, we never really get to see the kid. Like they
I don't,
always.
dude, I've seen the oldest looking ones, the most mature ones. They're
Now-
still, dude, they're still very young people.
Dude, I remember being in middle
Have a
school.
conversation with one.
Oh yeah, they're morons. No, across the board, no doubt. I agree with you 100% there. That's not my point. There was always one kid that had a full fucking beard though, and a huge
Oh, yeah,
dong.
Blazo.
Yeah, Blazo. There was a kid, Scott. I played soccer with.
Dong. What?
Well, just I mean, they were adult. They were adults, you know, and they couldn't wait to like traipse around the gym, and you're like, all right, fuck face.
I don't ever remember.
The point is, well, you had 1st and 2nd, 8th grade. You were probably that guy, honestly, come late 2nd, 8th grade, where you were just more mature than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's the point, is
Yeah,
there
I
was
know-
always
I
one or
know.
two, you know, guys who were just a couple years quicker
No,
than
despite
everybody
the
else.
fact,
Yeah.
you know, the funny thing is when you say that and you're wrong. That is bullshit. The only advantage I should have, if there was anything I could have gotten out of doing it twice, it should have been that I looked older and shit.
And you
I
didn't?
I couldn't even grow freaking a goatee until like I was 25 or 26.
You still really grow a shitty one.
I know,
to be
like,
honest.
Was there
that's my
was there
point, like-
grass on the infield?
Dude,
8th grade? Were you?
I didn't even.
Were you whacking off
shave.
in eighth
I don't
grade?
even think I shaved in high school ever because I didn't have enough facial hair or enough like I
Okay,
didn't look
forget
older.
the facial hair. Were you like had you reached puberty?
I don't remember my penis as far as how, but I mean, I don't remember when the pubes started coming in. Jay.
You don't have
don't remember?
stop. You don't have stop action photos of 6th through your 2nd, 8th grade penis growth.
No,
Really?
No.
Wow, what a weirdo.
But my
I
point is
know.
like
Who
I
doesn't?
didn't have
Pull
any.
my file out right now.
There was nothing I got that benefited like the fact that I was a little older. Like I had no physical features to me that like oh he's obviously older.
Well, that sucks.
So I
Wow.
didn't even get a.
The short end of both sticks.
yeah.
Both times.
Yeah. Well, most people have that one guy that, you know, the Blazo, the Scott that I knew, where it's like, all right, fuck face, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Always
Sweet Bush.
wearing sleeveless shit so everybody can
Yeah.
see his armpit hair.
Exactly. That guy. And
That
so
guy.
I'm assuming
But
these
still,
teachers are
dude,
banging them.
I guess. But
Yeah, they're virtual retards. They're in 8th grade. They're not smart.
it's
but
absurd.
anyway, the student's mom, I guess she tracked down the source of the suspicious texts, and one of the texts said from this kid was like, "Ain't bullshitting. Watch, I'm gonna start getting the pics and everything ready to show the cops. I ain't playing." And that's a ballsy text to send to your teacher.
She's gonna be flipping out.
By the way, the student, he's currently in a juvenile detention center, not because he was banging his teacher, but he was picked up on robbery and burglary charges as well. So it's a side-related thing. It's totally unrelated to banging his teacher.
This kid had zero childhood.
Yeah.
He went from 8 to adult like
Yeah.
that.
His mom believes he spent his hush money on drugs.
This son of a bitch.
Mom's like, this is very hurtful and shit. He's the victim here. He was a child. He's still a child, but it hurts me because I've been through a lot with him. He started getting into drugs, drinking, leaving the house and shit, and he would probably get money and just leave the whole weekend. I wouldn't hear from him at all. Like, think about that, dude. Like 8th grade, your kid's just like phew, gone for the
He
weekend.
pulled 28 G's out of this chick, right?
Yeah.
God.
Yes. Yeah, he just kept milking her. She was taking out loans, dude.
Yeah, like I was about to say, I didn't know she made 28 G's in that.
Yeah.
You know.
She took out loans to pay this dude. He was a smart business guy, though, as you mentioned. She admitted to the affair and said he'd been threatening to disclose this relationship. The two corresponded via Instagram before banging in a park in June of 2015, and that continued, through November and December. She started getting threatening messages, text. How horrifying would that be when it's just like, oh,
Goes south.
it's over. It's over. And she was getting calls from different numbers, like unknown numbers, organizing drop spots, like for payment.
All of a sudden, you're meeting with your banker, and he's asking you, "Now, what will you be using these loaned funds for?" Got to pay off my 14-year-old lover.
Yeah, because she was sending him an assortment of vagine and titty pictures too.
How do you
So
get
this-
there?
I mean, he just like all the cards. He held everything, and he played it.
What is missing from your life that you're trying to fill that void with 14-year-old middle school kid?
Yeah.
Ah,
It's
I'm
tough.
so sorry.
I know it's a tough one, dude. It's a tough one, but most kids can't. This is what I wouldn't have seen the forest through the trees. You know what I mean? Like I would have been
I do
like,
know what you mean.
I would have been like the second I finished on her face or whatever. I would have been on your doorstep so fast, just like, dude, you're not gonna believe it. I fucking banged so like it would have been so instantaneous.
Yeah.
Like,
and I would have been like, can I too?
Yeah,
can I
like,
next?
dude, she's still in the park. She'd probably have to wipe her face off. But yeah, go. She's there. She's probably still nude. I would have fucking hightailed it over there with you. You know, like seriously, it would have been.
Well, this guy's
nonstop
savvy
high
enough. I
fives.
bet you he just kept it to himself, man.
Dude, to be
This
that
son of a
reserved,
bitch.
like, all right, man.
He's wise behind his years, Mike. We talked about this.
Shit. All right, now I just put it to a good and shit. I got these titty pics. I got these vagine pics. Now,
But
yeah,
I have
I
a
could-
spelling test tomorrow. But
yeah, I could roll over to Jay's house and shit and high five all night. That'd be cool. But then Jay's gonna brag and talk some shit. Before I know it, this thing's gonna be upended, and I ain't gonna be able to hit that shit or make pay from this. You know what? I'm gonna keep this shit to myself, and I'm gonna get my ass paid.
And he was able to keep that in check, and get 28 grand. I mean, I give him credit for that. I know it's
Savvy young man.
illegal. I know a lot of people are like, well, fuck him. He blackmail. He should go to jail, too. They're not going to bring charges against him, by the way.
I already have him locked up.
Yeah. Unrelated completely. Let's take a quick break. And then the Super Bowl, we're starting to get into that time where everyone's talking about commercials, and I know you love that stuff. Have you guys even thought about the Super Bowl?
No.
I haven't really either. I don't know why, but I just, obviously I'll watch it. But anyway, some stuff about that and lots more when we come back.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, it's Steve Gabar, the general manager at Zod Ford and Holly, and proud members at DealsInTheD.com. My favorite thing to do during these nasty, freezing cold months is to warm the cockles of our customers' hearts with smoking hot deals on cars, trucks, and SUVs. So right now, you can lease a new 16 Ford F-150 Super Cab XLT 4x4 at just $173 a month. Yes, that's $173 for an F-150 that stickers for over $45,000. See the details in our massive inventory at DealsInTheD.com.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
God's got his hand in this, and I truly believe that.
I agree with you, Mr. Lindell. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. A little breaking news to bring you.
A few schemes being had during the break.
It's so valuable to have a half retard. You know what I mean?
It can be, yeah. It can be.
It comes with its downside. There's no doubt about it.
Double-edged sword, so to speak.
Yeah, I would agree with that. However, during the break we were discussing the "He will not divide us. He will not divide us" thing that Shia LaBeouf is doing in New York.
The art project.
Yeah, the art project, the 4-year art project. Let's check in with it.
He will not divide us.
Translate.
He will not divide us.
He will not divide us.
He will not.
So anyway, young E here is going to board a flight tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
Head on out and chant.
And go to New York with Detroit Cast gear on and join in. You know, E loves public gatherings. He loves planes.
He loves the message.
He loves New York. Mm-hmm. And so it's a win-win. We found him an absolute cheap flight going to New York. So
you could make an argument that I like the message because I agree. I don't think maybe I think that he won't divide us. Maybe I think Mike Lindell thinks that eventually he will bring us all together.
Well, so he's going to go out there and so all day Friday he'll be out there. So if you want to check in, there's a live 24-hour stream of it. And where is that again? He will not divide us.com or something?
He will not divide us. www.hewillnotdivideus.us.
.us. He will not divide us.us.
And E, will you be taking requests? Dance, monkey dance, and then you'll start to dance.
I mean, why not, right? I guess. I mean, my plan is, like Mike said, I'm leaving really early. I should be able to get there by 10 a.m. at the latest. I'm just going to bring a backpack I'll put some food in there, I guess, and I'm going to try to spend as much time on camera as possible. So,
son of a bitch. Well, got a flight to catch.
Yeah. Thanks, Shia. You've been great. Yeah, so if I suggested E, you should Facebook Live throughout the day, and so anyone that checks in on E on Facebook Live can then, make a request, have him say something, give a shout out, whatever. And he obviously he can do what he wants, but so yeah.
I mean, I wonder I don't know how good this camera is, but obviously you can hear people. So I mean, you'd probably have mix. Like I would warn people, like I'll do things, but I think the goal would be to stay on kind of long too. So you maybe not right off the bat, just like fuck you, Shia LaBeouf. Well, maybe that is. I don't know.
No, I don't think that's the way.
The placement of the people on there. If you can pull that up one more time, it suggests to me that he's kind of drawn a ring or something, or put a line down that they're not supposed to cross, and that only he can be right at
People were crossing that like crazy and getting right up in the camera.
What is the deal then? Why wouldn't you go up and hug Shia right now?
I don't know.
Well, that's gonna be what I'm gonna do. If he's there, I will for sure be like, hey man, can I get a?
I wonder if he's got like handlers or something there, just going, just stand back, give him some space
for the art, right? I mean, he's an artist, and this is an art project. So.
See, he just walked away, and now people are walking down the street with him. See that?
Yeah.
See, he just
Dude,
left.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. He just booked down the street.
Just walked down the street alone. He's alone. He just walked off camera and walked away. So, check in with E tomorrow and keep a tab on his Twitter and Facebook, and he'll, give people a heads up. And, we should have a nice story to report next week.
Son of a bitch. Hey, before we get too much further, Mike, we got to tell you about our buddy
Douglas.
Acapello or Ed Helms?
Let's go Ed Helms.
Yeah, you've been pitchy, dog, lately. So
I apologize for that.
I'm glad we've had Ed backing us up.
And then we're gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, oh, Doug.
Buying a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life. Doug Steinert at Century 21 Campbell wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Douglas, 248-765-1781, and let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your home purchasing dreams a reality. Call 248-765-1781 and ask for fellow Detroit Cast listener Doug Steinert.
Douglas!
Just before the break, I mentioned the Super Bowl and how none of us have that like super amped up for the Super Bowl feeling.
Atlanta v. New England.
Yeah.
I guess, like I said, my big emotion, my emotional connection to this is I hope Brady loses. I'm tired of the New England Patriots.
Yeah, and I get that. I hope Brady wins for the same reason, just because it's so impressive. But I understand why people feel that way. Anyway, those commercials ran $5 million last year for a 30-second commercial, and Kraft Heinz ketchup has announced that they are not going to do a commercial this year. So people are like, what?
Look, they've gained $5 million worth of attention by announcing that.
Exactly.
Genius.
Instead,
That's a great point. Just a big company comes out and says, we will be making an announcement that we will not be
News.
Yeah.
What is Heinz doing? Heinz ketchup?
They're not going to air a commercial for the Super
That
Bowl.
delicious Heinz ketchup.
It is delicious,
dude. It's
though.
the best,
Isn't it?
Really, like Hunt's okay if in a pinch.
Yeah.
Heinz is God. You talk about a company that has the market cornered.
Yeah.
Heinz ketchup, dude.
You probably didn't have Heinz growing up, did you?
No, I had.
Did you guys have knockoff?
Chatham brand.
Oh,
and that's
Was
maybe
it
why I
ketchup
love it so
or
much.
was it ketchup?
Catsup. It's probably why I love it so much.
Heinz, you
respect
it?
Yeah. It's like A1, dude. To have A1 as a kid was very special for me.
Not really. I mean, bottles
By the
of it.
gallon.
Oh yeah, dude.
I
just thought my family worked at A1.
That, that's so ghetto to suggest, just pour A1 on a good steak.
Yeah.
I get that, but as a kid, that was my mom's line. Like, this is very expensive steak sauce. Don't waste that. I was only allowed. I was only allowed like a
capful.
Basically, like a quarter size. I'd have to use that first before I could pour more.
Oh my god!
And she had to pour it, not because I was a tard and couldn't pour or cut my own meat.
She didn't
it was
trust
because,
you.
Well, she didn't trust me, and it came out like more watery than I was used to with the catsup.
Yeah. See, at my house, we each had a bottle at our station.
Yeah.
And so we just, whatever we wanted. Honestly, I probably threw more away than I consumed
because station.
I would have my little dish there, and I would just fill it to the brim, and then it was like I dip, and it was like, wow, 3/4 of this is still here. Well, I'm not putting it back in the bottle. That's gross, and so I just throw it away.
I would say in the Fady household, we go through a lot of ketchup. Like it's kind of a running joke that if we go to a restaurant, if a ketchup is like half full, you better bring another ketchup. But my dad, I'm sure this when you're talking about the throwing things away. My dad absolutely, once you got down to this, like he squeezed every last thing he could get out of like ketchup,
good man.
orange juice, putting the water in, and then
sure.
the little water. Jay knows what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
It's tough times for you guys. Anyway, what Heinz is going to do?
Not advertise. They are not advertising. You hear that, everybody?
They're going a step further, though.
Oh, really?
They're giving.
They're going to not advertise?
They're giving all their employees the day off on Monday following the Super Bowl.
Okay, this goes back to one of my points that I've made for years. I believe this for decades now. You put the Super Bowl on a Saturday, and you're going to blow that thing up. It's going to be like
it'd be huge.
Double Super Bowl.
It'd be as huge as what? The Super Bowl.
Listen to me.
It'd be 10 Super
As
Bowls.
huge as it is now, what's everybody's bitch about it?
Monday.
Fuck, dude. I got it. Dude, we're going to be
drinking.
I don't really want to go to that party because then we're going to be drinking and I'm not going to get home till like 12:30. I got to work the next morning. Put it on a Saturday. What's to stop you? Some dumb tradition of Super Bowl Sunday? Who cares? Put it on a Sunday. You will blow this thing up, Mike.
Yeah, you'd think you could make it big.
Yeah, you can make this game a big thing.
Yeah, you can make it a big deal. Well, they're trying to just make it. They've also got a petition going, a Change.org petition, that they're garnering signatures to try to make it a national holiday the Monday after the Super Bowl. And make that
or
an
put it on
official
Saturday.
day off.
My God,
why do you want to take a day away,
Dude,
off from
that's
us?
ridiculous. Honestly, that's all we need is less productivity in our schools and our workplaces.
Yeah, but a national holiday would be nice, dude. To take that
That's
Monday
absurd, dude.
Right, put it on a fucking Saturday.
Put it on a Saturday.
Yeah, put it on a Saturday.
Place it on a Saturday evening.
You're getting worse, dude.
What?
Him and his butts.
Put it on a Saturday night.
By the way, they've got like 42,000 employees, so this is going to cost a fortune. And I thought this was bullshit. The day off is given to salaried employees, but the factory workers still have to work. I was
Somebody has to make the ketchup.
well, I'm thinking though, like if
Ketchup
anyone,
isn't going to make
So
itself.
the people that could have probably just taken it off anyway or rolled in a little late.
Those beautiful plastic squeeze bottles don't fill themselves, Mike.
I know, but if you announce like, oh well, we're giving the day off to all of our employees, we're making a statement here. It's going to cost us, millions of dollars, and then it's like, oh yeah, but fuck them factory workers.
That magical tomato
guys.
sugar sauce doesn't create itself, Mike.
I
Okay?
understand that, but if you're going to expect this kind of play, I think you have to shut the whole damn thing down.
I heard today, this is great news for a bunch of local people. I heard Ford hourlies are getting like a $9,000 bonus check this year.
Really?
Yeah, that whole profit share thing that was great for many
Oh,
years.
for us growing up?
And then you didn't see it again for
Yeah.
a while, and it's, limped up and down and so forth. It's $9,000 this year, I heard.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
sweet.
That's awesome. I remember that every year my dad would, get profit sharing, and that was when he would go buy a new TV or something, Get his leg lamp,
Yeah, my dad got profit sharing presumably too, and still ate
Get a new TV or new car, right?
Chatham catsup.
Huh. A2 sauce.
A2. What is the competitor? There is a competitor out there of A1, isn't
There
there?
is, yeah, there is.
It's a knockoff.
And
it's
it's
bullshit.
not nearly as good.
You see it at some restaurants. Like clearly they made a deal with some restaurant chain.
Yeah.
You see it out there, but whatever.
I don't remember. Yeah, this is a cause they feel that the public can get behind, and so they're gonna do that. The idea has been gaining traction for that being a national holiday, and because they say that there's so much absenteeism the day after the Super Bowl, anyways, and such little productivity that it costs the country billions of dollars.
Well, I'll just stop showing up on every Monday, and then why don't we just cut Mondays off?
I mean, why don't they just back it up a day?
Yeah. Well,
there's no discussion of that in this article. This finely written piece of journalism.
The Super Bowl should be on Saturday night.
It's so fucking easy, man.
Easy.
Move it back a day, and you can forget it with all your stupid petitions.
Yeah, not interested.
Absurd.
Well,
honestly, what is it aside from tradition?
Yeah,
that's keeping it on Sunday.
This country,
NFL wants to own Sundays, right? Is that right? Well,
yeah, that's
fucking.
their day.
Who cares? You know what? Saturday, Super Bowl Saturday, will be your day instead.
And they've already proven that they're not opposed to hogging different days of the week. I mean, it used to be Sunday, right. and then they obviously added Monday Night Football, and now it's Saturdays, fucking Thursday night. Wild card weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Like they have almost every day of the week. It's not even special Sunday.
Honestly,
anymore.
what hard-headedness you're making your fans go through a petition process to get Mondays off nationally.
If they were smart, dude,
you suck, man.
No.
You're the guy that wants 4th of July to land on a Saturday so no one gets Monday off.
That I disagree with.
Not true.
That I disagree with.
That
The
should absolutely
NFL
be
should
allowed.
realize that the ratings are down. The product isn't as good as they were. There's things happening.
Step up and support your fans.
Do something that would be a positive move. No fan would be like, I don't like it. None.
Yeah.
Right? Can you think of a downside?
Trying. Tradition. It's tradition.
That's it, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I haven't heard people talking about that. I do know about the lack of productivity argument, though. But you could make that for like the whole holiday season. There's so much bullshitting going on
in December.
Too. Like, think about it. We are constantly trying to, deal with sales or have talk to people about advertising on the Detroit Cast. And there's literally like the month of December through January 10th, you don't even get returned emails. The whole thing shuts down and everybody says the same thing. Oh, guys, really hung up for the holidays. Let's reconnect in the new year. And it's like, dude, it's December 12th. What are you talking about? So that's just like the way it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would change anything, but Snickers, by the way, they're going to do a live Super Bowl ad this year.
Sweet.
Aren't you excited for that?
Snickers, you said?
Yeah. I guess with Adam Driver. Is he Kylo Ren?
Yes, okay. I knew that name.
He's going to do that.
Weird-looking dude. Kind of looks like he has a feline look to him a little bit, Maybe wolf. Maybe more wolf.
Yeah,
more
he does.
canine than feline.
I would agree with that. There's something there about
Odd
him.
facial structure.
Yeah. Now, the remember Jennifer Lawrence? I saw her butthole and I liked it.
Yeah. said one Ken Bone.
Ken Bone, a brilliant man once said it. You know, and I'm yet to find the individual that disagrees with Ken Bone on that. I, in fact, also saw Jennifer Lawrence's butthole, and I as well liked what I saw.
You're not even wearing a red cable knit sweater.
No. The guy that leaked those photos that hacked that stuff got sentenced to 9 months in jail.
Is that it? Wow.
Yes. His name is Edward Majerchik. He's 29 years old from Chicago.
I thought they were talking about that dude like spending years. I thought they were throwing the book at him.
Yeah, well, he hacked.
Ken Bone's latest tweet.
Ken Bone says, any accounts using my picture and making references to the Bone Zone are not run by me.
Oh, Mr. Bone. How many followers does he have now?
14.7.
The trials and tribulations of Ken Bone. Lots of people have dropped his ass. He had like 100K or something, didn't he?
Dude, did he lose like 75% of his Twitter following in a couple weeks?
Like this.
He's a bone job, man. Everybody knows he's not worth following.
So this guy was accused of hacking like 30 celebrity accounts and stealing all the private information, nude videos, photos. And he was also ordered to pay $5,700 in restitution for counseling services for one celebrity who was like, oh, my God, my butthole's online.
Yeah.
I don't know how to deal with this.
He should pay us all for seeing Hope Solo's roast beef sandwich.
Yeah.
We should all receive some sort of payment for having.
You thinking like a class action? I mean, it would have to be a class action that we all signed up for.
I think we all deserve, like, I don't know, like at least $750.
$750? That's fair.
$7.50. I was thinking, okay, I'll take $7.50 too. I mean, that was, that was startling.
Disturbing. Yeah, it was. I would agree.
Haven't been to Arby's since.
The guy that made us see Leslie Jones getting butt fucked too. That guy should have to pay us $750 at least.
That's
that
the guy.
Was hideous.
Leslie Jones is the woman from the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, from Saturday Night Live, the black woman. Remember we saw that E?
Yes, I do.
With E was pulling up pictures, and there was one of some guy just buried in her butthole, and it was.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, it was disturbing, and I wouldn't mind getting some sort of reimbursement for having to see that.
That's creative.
Probably did some sort of retinal damage. Anyway, this guy, the Majerchik orchestrated a phishing scheme. I didn't know this worked for people.
Dude, does everybody know about this now? Can everybody not fall for this?
Yeah.
Like, this is what Podesta fell for, and this is what these chicks fell for. Just a simple email saying, hey, this is Apple or this is whoever, Gmail in the case of Podesta. Going to need your password. There's some indication that someone's trying to get in, so please confirm that you're you.
Yeah.
And we'll just take your password and use your username and
here's my account number.
Set everything straight. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what he did. He sent like to thousands of people all this stuff and seeking their usernames and passwords. And the ones that were like, oh yeah, here you go, including Jennifer Lawrence, said, yeah, oh yeah, do a check or whatever. He was like, thank you very much, and then he was able to access everything, and then post the butthole picture.
God, he also brought us Verlander's limp dick.
Is he the same guy?
Yes,
was that part
Kate
of that
Upton,
act?
yeah.
So Ryan Collins of Pennsylvania pled guilty in May to hacking into the accounts of 100 people, including celebrities. Again, nude photos and videos. He's a married father of 2. He was jailed for 18 months. Majerski's attorney, for his part, says his client is suffering from depression, and he was looking to porn and porn websites and internet chat rooms in an attempt to fill the voids and disappointment he was feeling in his life. So that's why he felt the need to showcase and highlight,
ruin a bunch
Hope
of other
Solo's,
people's lives.
Yeah, Vagine and again Jennifer Lawrence's butthole for all of us. So if it helped him out medically speaking, maybe it was worth the $5,700 in 9 months.
I hope he's doing better.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a brand new year, Mike. It's time to talk about some fun new things. Ironically, some of those new things are actually used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Hoo-ah. Our good friends at Zott Ford and Holly want to share some amazing deals on their previously used vehicles. Go get a 13 Ford Fusion SE for just $79.95 or a 14 Ford F-250 Super Duty Crew Cab 4x4 at only $24,995. Or a 12 Ford Focus SE for just $69.95. This one is 20% below Kelley Blue Book. See all of these plus a gazillion other sexy, previously owned deals at ZottFord.com.
How we doing on email, Jay?
We do have some email, Mike.
What do we got?
Howard writes in with a what would Big E do? E, please listen up. Put your Facebook down. Dear TDC King, Sofa King, and Snot Bubble, Howard the Walmart greeter writing in. I have an Ask Big E. Mrs. Walmart greeter and I have long wanted to move to Traverse City. Oh, who wouldn't?
Lovely.
Right?
Yeah, Cherry Festival.
Yeah, well, great area. What's the line? Beautiful area.
Sure. I don't remember.
She's the hot special education autism expert that I took into Zotford to evaluate Big E. Do you remember this, Big E?
Yeah.
Isn't this one you got in your collision?
Yes, this is. And I wouldn't even been in that place at that time if I hadn't to wait for Howard to drive there.
Is that right?
I stayed an extra hour on the job that day.
Oh, Howard caused the accident, you're saying.
I'm not saying he did or didn't, but I mean, I wouldn't have been at that intersection at the time that I was.
That was stressful. That guy yelled at you, screamed in your face.
Wanted my job.
Yeah, he wanted you fired. For a fender bender.
Well, Howard's
off the clock.
Howard's wife believes he's definitely on the spectrum, but I digress, says Howard. Scenery there is incredible. In Traverse City, the air is clean, and there are two excellent TDC listeners I drink beer with up there all the time. It's a smart move.
Yeah. Grass is always greener.
Except for the fact that the job I'm looking at pays $20K less a year than what I make now. My missus would need to get a job as well, leaving her current school district where she's been employed for 17 years. It would most likely cost her about $20,000 a year too. We would need to pull 2 kids out of school, ages 8 and 6. Find childcare. We're getting to that. Ask E. Hold on. Find childcare for the baby. Grandma currently covers that shit and is a mile away, along with selling our house and finding another one. Well, Douglas would take care of that.
Yeah.
Do I say fuck it and make the move, or stay here where we are very comfortable but not super happy? The wife thinks moving up after she retires and our youngest is out of school is a good idea, but I'll be 65 by then. Kind of your fault, Howard. I mean, you're an old dude having a baby.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, you hate that.
What, when those old guys have babies like
people
that?
Have babies, but you think people are
crazy.
Old at 25. So
no, it's crazy, dude. I just, I wouldn't want to be 65 and having like a 17-year-old kid. It's just me. I'd be moving into an old folks' home, so fuck that. Thoughts, Big E?
God, dude. Well, you know, my motto in life is more often money does not equal happiness. Now, the problem is there's a lot of other factors there. Talking about moving these kids out of high school, and for those kids, that kind of sucks.
Who cares about the kids?
This is all.
He's moving an 8 and a 6-year-old.
Oh fuck! They're not even in middle. They're barely in middle school. If they're not in middle school yet, right? What are they in? 1st grade, 5th grade? Well, either way, they're not even in middle school yet. So that's a big difference to me.
He has no point of reference given his educational background.
Right. I have a weird situation.
Dude, 6. What are you? 5th grade?
But I would say that if they're not even in middle school yet, I think it's a lot different because then it's like, dude, you make friends in middle school, then in high school you're fine.
What about the grandma a mile away? That's huge to come over and watch your kid.
That is big. You're going to take less money.
I mean, he had that
Your wife has
mistake
to get a
baby.
job.
He's
right.
chosen to raise it.
Forgot to tie his tubes for some reason.
His tubes. But needless to say, he now has this kid who grandma is willing to come over and watch. What do you do, E?
Well, have grandma drag her ass up north.
I think I know where he lives. I feel like he lives in like the Jackson area for some reason. I just remember him living kind of and Traverse City's freaking amazing. Like really nice. You got the wine things up there. You got
but you got the prison in Jackson.
Although you also get that you also get that the winters are brutal there though because of that bay.
So what do you do? I mean, you're back and forth on this.
Right.
Thing.
I'm gonna say if you've looked into, for some reason, you've decided that Traverse City is a place that you both agree on that you really enjoy, despite the money situation, I'd say do it because I think that you get one life, man. And if you're sick of if you guys are not happy where you're living now, you'll be more happy.
You want to live life to the fullest.
Yeah, you'll be more happy making a little less in an area that's much more enjoyable than you are.
Well, I think the money situation is interesting. You said he said he would lose like $20,000 a year.
They're about
she would lose
$40,000 in the hole with the move.
Well, I think what I would like to know is it possible that they each make like $2 million a year? Because if they do, then I wouldn't worry so much about the $20,000 you're losing off the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's a teacher, 17 years in. Yeah, that's about
$1 to $2 million a year.
I think that's the going rate.
Look, I wouldn't sweat the $20,000 there, and I know Howard is a Walmart greeter is probably making $1 to $2 million a year himself. So yeah, $40,000 sounds like a lot. It's a nice new car for a lot of people, but I wouldn't worry about that. And fuck the kids. I think you look out for yourself. This is a me first world, and I think if you personally think you'd be happier in Traverse City, you go to fucking Traverse City and make the other people around you adjust. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It's my thought on it.
Yeah, his phrase, not super happy where he is, I don't know. That sort of suggests, like, dude, are you chasing this grass is always greener type thing?
Well, that's what
okay,
I would-
you're never, like, you're going to chase super duper happiness?
One thing
Have you ever been super happy? Besides, like, the few seconds of, like, when you're finishing. Like,
Yeah.
that I would say is like, oh, I'm super, super happy right now for these 6 seconds.
Dude, one thing he's got to watch out for, man, is, again, I don't exactly know where he is, but I feel like I was right that he's in that area, is, man, Traverse City, you get to that, like, you get to a point, though, like, concerts, events, things like that, they just don't come to that area that often. So just
Gross.
things like that, you got to factor all that in, man. That's
I would say this about the kids. I wouldn't worry at all about the kids. 6 and 8 years old, you kidding me?
No, my
They'll
parents never gave us a
assimilate
second
wherever-
thought.
Yeah, they'll be fine. You just drag them up there. It does kind of concern me that you got childcare at home. You can't take that for granted. You get up there and you have that expense as well without grandma. But you do get away from your mother-in-law, dude. So
We've
wow,
all got to
it's-
make sacrifices, and if the kid's babysitter has to go for the good of the family, okay, it's a concession we're willing to make. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to have to grow up a little bit and be able to take care of themselves on certain weekend nights. They're old enough. 8 and 6, you said?
Yeah.
Plenty old enough.
Yep. So there's your answer, Howard.
Yeah, all three of us say, get your ass up north. What are you doing here? You can take the Detroit Cast with you.
Craig writes in, gentlemen in Etard, the other day I was doing some cleaning up around the house before a party whilst listening to the DCast on my headphones. And my wife, as wives are susceptible to do, began to argue with me about the finer points of vacuuming or something similar. With my earbuds out, we continued to argue for at least 5 minutes. Fuck, I'm going north to south. What do you care? Can you imagine, like, 5 minutes of arguing that starts with the vacuuming? When all of a sudden, I hear a distant, tiny, you're not 100, from my earbuds dangling around my pocket. I couldn't help but chuckle. Also want to give a shout-out and congrats to my buddy from Alabama, new listener Kevin, who got me a sweet-ass D-Cast hoodie for Christmas. Kevin is expecting his very first sweet pie soon.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Craig, B-U-I. Oh, well, Kevin, enjoy that little sweet pie.
Yeah, welcome to the Detroit Cast community.
Tim the Vierge writes in. Of course, you remember.
I remember Tim the Vierge.
The Kickstarter shout-out.
Yeah, sure.
Right, is that what he purchased?
That's
and
right.
Computerized the shit out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the guy. King, retard, and fanny pack. First, I'm still using the Amazon link. Oh, thank you, Tim the Vierge. We appreciate you patronizing. We appreciate your patronage.
There you go.
To Amazon. It's a great way to support the show. Go to DetroitCast.com, go to the Amazon link, and use that link, and we get a bit of a kickback. Next, says Tim the Vierge.
The Vierge.
I wanted to come to the smug lawyer's defense on this Queeg Balls thing. I knew what Jay was talking about, and I never read the book either. I just breezed through the class on some coattails of others. Breezing with coattails. Does that sound familiar to anyone?
Yeah, me, for sure.
Yeah. Your
Doing that
coattails heavy?
now. Yeah. Doing that for as long as I can remember.
E, does that mean anything to you, the whole concept?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Coattails?
Yeah, my coattails are filthy.
How did I know Queeg then? Says Tim the Vierge. Well, pop culture. There have been different cartoons over the years that have had the captain or leader playing with metal balls in a similar fashion. I was struggling to recall one for this email. Thank God for the handy Google machine. First one I found was, in fact, in The Simpsons in '97 with the episode The Kane Mutiny.
Wow.
God damn it. How did the resident Simpsons nerd not bring this up?
I don't necessarily know all
Another missed
episode
opportunity.
names.
The Kane Mutiny, and apparently The Simpsons had a character in there, Queeg in it.
I don't know every single Simpsons.
Yes, you do.
No, but I don't know the names of every episode.
But the
of
idea of a guy with two balls in his hands, Queeg in it, that didn't come to mind.
I'll have to look.
Just wanted to let the lawyer know at least one other person did know what he was talking about. Keep up the good work. Podcast heroes. Goodbye, B-U-Y, Tim.
The Vierge.
The Vierge. Well, I have a couple lengthy stories about fire, which I'll get to next week, and I'll end with this one. Nate writes in, this is not a boner pill or Chinese elevator ad. Thank you for stating that in the subject line. Proops hater, Proops sitter, and Proops voicer.
Yeah. That's me. I'm the voicer.
I just wanted to let you guys know that your Mike Lindell interview was fucking amazing. It was everything we all expected it to be and more. I really can't thank you enough for all the quality entertainment you give us every week. As many people have said before, local radio sucks, and the Detroit Cast is so much better than other local podcasts with their Bachelor recaps and this day in Beatles history segments. I was a donor to the initial Kickstarter, but the enjoyment I've gotten out of the show has far surpassed my original donation. So today, I decided to stop being an asshole and finally join the members area. Thanks again for all you do. Let's keep this thing going. Nate.
Oh, thank
you, Nate. Yeah, members area. You mentioned the members area.
Yeah.
Find it at DetroitCast.com. Over to the right-hand side on the homepage, you'll see members area. You'll see, if you click on that, a few different levels. One that surely would fit you.
And your budget.
And your budget situation. And I think if you peruse those levels, I think you'd see that there's good stuff in there, including a lot of extra content.
Yes.
That you have access to, and a lot of TDC extras. So check that out and think about it.
Yeah. Very, very important and helpful and all that stuff. All right, we good with the email?
We'll save the rest for Monday, Mike.
All right, yeah, I'm excited for Monday. We should be talking to Adam Carolla.
Yes.
Which will be exciting about his movie, The 24-Hour War.
Correct.
So we've both seen the movie. It's very good.
It's cool. It's
yeah.
Concerning the Ford-Ferrari rivalry at Le Mans.
Yes, exactly. And hopefully we can talk to him about podcasting and stuff as well. So we look forward to that. Have a great weekend, everybody. Remember to tune in for Big E tomorrow, Friday. If you're listening to this Friday, it will be that day. So he's going to be out in New York at the He Will Not Divide Us rally with Shia LaBeouf. And you can watch live streaming at hewillnotdivideus.us. Right, E?
Yes, sir.
All right. So make sure you check that out. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.